I have a date with Lisa. Isn't that wonderful?
From now on, I want you to put an equal amount of blueberries in each muffin. An equal amount of blueberries in each muffin.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
And we're back with another episode of the most quotable movies of all time. This
is a good one. This is Casablanca.
Yeah.
And this was picked by our viewers, out of 4 movies that we, had them choose from. And, this is like a heart-wrenching love story, an escape story. It's got all these elements. It's like really good, and the acting is like superb.
Yeah, not as many funny quotes in this episode, but definitely a lot of memorable ones.
Yeah, well, the most memorable ones aren't the funny ones, but there are funny ones.
Yeah, and of course, but and then spoiler alert, I think most of the most famous quotes are in like the last 5 minutes of the movie, but we'll get to that, I guess. So do you want to start off first?
Okay. My most quotable quote is actually the last quote in the movie.
Your number 5 is? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we did 5?
Yeah.
Oh, for some reason I thought we did 4, but that's okay. I got a 5.
All right. What's your 5?
So my 5th one is,
Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yeah, I got that at number 3, actually.
Do you really?
As I said, in the last 5 minutes, actually, that's in the last like 30 seconds of the movie, I guess. But yeah, good one for sure. Yeah, I mean, you see that one in clips that they show in the movie all the time, but
right.
I think it's technically the very last line in the movie, right?
Yeah, it is the last line in the movie.
Yeah, and Louis is a good character in the film as well.
Yeah, Louis is a good character. Actually, they're like opposites, but they meld together in the movie because they need each other.
Right. Yeah, some heavy stuff going on in this movie that it's almost like glossed over in the in the abstract of the film, but like if you know what's going on at that time in history, it's some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So very good, number 5. Okay, so my number 5 is
play it once, Sam, for all time's sake.
And then of course he sings it, and then
after he gave up, he goes, I don't remember, and then she's begging him, and then he starts playing the keyboard, and
right,
she goes, now sing it, please. And,
and then it makes Humphrey Bogart come over, and he's like, I told you to never play that anymore. Yeah, but I always thought the line was play it again, Sam, because that Woody Allen movie, that's the title of the movie.
They never said that line in the movie.
Right, exactly. So, okay, cool. So what's your number 4?
My number 4 is...
Round up the usual suspects.
They said in the beginning of the movie, and then Louis says it, towards the end of the movie.
Right, yeah. Double meaning there a little bit.
Yeah. There 2 different people say it, but it's the same thing. Every time something went wrong, it was round up the usual suspects.
Yeah. Cool. I didn't have that one. Good line. It is very quotable, this movie. And most of them are just short and sweet, but perfect.
Right.
So my next one is not as short, but it is...
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
I have that up higher up.
Okay, nice. We may end up having like most of the same on this one for once.
Right.
And yeah, this is going to be a good rounded out list, I have a feeling. Cool. So what's your number 3?
Kiss me. Kiss me as if it were the last time.
Yeah. Ingrid Bergman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good one. I did not have that one. Okay. I have a feeling that you probably, well, we'll see when we get there, but you may have kind of cheated on putting two into one, but we'll see. So so my number three was I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. So so what's your number two?
He's looking at you, kid.
Okay. That is my number one. So wow, this is going fast.
And my number one, of course, was of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine. But he
Okay.
said it, after he was drinking a lot,
Yeah, at the
and
bar,
then
yeah.
totally depressed and
Hmm. But it comes off kind of funny a little bit,
yeah.
It's just the way Bogart talks anyway is kind of funny. But
I
yeah.
know.
So my number two is the only one missing now, is
We'll always have Paris.
which is a line that,
Right, that's a good line too.
yeah, which is, it's really from the same speech at the end, that it also includes here's looking at you, kid, but it's such a well-known
I
line.
think
I
he
had
said
to,
like he was looking at you, kid, like about 3 times in the movie.
okay, yeah. Well, but that last, I almost did the whole speech. That's what I was saying. I thought you were gonna cheat and do like the whole last speech, because there's a lot of great little things in there too
Oh, I
about
know. I mean, like
about regretting.
when
Yeah.
he's being interrogated by the major. I think he was a major.
Yeah.
And then ask him, where he's from or something like that, and he goes, "I'm a drunkard."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And then he goes, there was other lines like something about, what do you think when we invaded Paris? And then he gets another quip line and he goes, what would you think if we invaded London? And he says, I'll let you know when we get there. And he goes, what would you think if we invaded New York? And
Yeah.
he goes, well, there's some places in New York where I think you wouldn't want to invade.
Right. Right.
Stuff like that. He always gave like not a committal answer. It was always either some wide-off remark or,
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. I think I've figured out how, as you were talking there, I put our list together. It was pretty easy this time.
Okay.
Here's looking at you, kid, has to be number one because it was my one and your two. Two is of all the gin joints, since it was your one and my four. Then three, I will always have Paris because it was my number two. Then four, of course, is the Louis. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Right.
And then five, your three is Kiss Me, the Ingrid Bergman one.
Right.
So perfect list. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't even argue this one, I think.
I know.
So
I mean, I think this one was really easy.
yeah, for sure. Because yeah, like I said, a lot of just short, sweet, famous lines that some of them have just outlasted the movie itself. This may end up being the oldest movie we talk about on this show. I don't know, 1942. Well, then there is Gone with the Wind. I don't know if we'll get to that one or not.
Which
So
one?
many. Gone with the Wind is older
Oh,
than
God.
that, right? But I don't know if there's so many other movies that start with G when we get to
one
that.
of the most famous over 3-hour movies of all time.
Yeah, seriously. But now, so
Taking
here
place
are
in your area.
That's right. Yep. So now the official top 5 most quotable quotes from Casablanca, according to 3 and 4, are:
Kiss me. Kiss me as if it were the last time.
Louis, I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
We'll always have Paris.
Of all the gin joints joints in all the towns in all the world. She walks into mine.
Is looking at you, kid.
Yeah. Good list as always. So now we're gonna be trying to pick the next episode here. So top 4 most quotable that start with the letter D. I'll start with my number 4, which is Donnie Brasco.
Yeah, I figured that you were going to do that one.
I had to have a crime movie with
I know.
Pacino alone. I mean, of course, most of the lines are revolve around "forget about it," but you know,
Forget about it.
exactly.
The Darkest Hour was my number 4.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. I'm again one guy with probably all the lines in that
Yeah,
one.
right.
Yeah.
Churchill, of course.
Yes, of course. Okay, cool. My number 3 is Dead Poet Society.
I have that higher.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
My
lots of
number
good stuff.
3 is Dr. Strangelove.
Oh, I forgot about that one. I knew you'd have. Okay, yeah, good. Yep. All right. My number 2 is Dumb and Dumber.
Okay.
I figured you wouldn't have that, but
Right, I wouldn't have that
it's
one as well.
undeniably quotable. That's for sure.
Yeah, my number 2 is Dead Poet Society.
Okay.
And I would think our number 1 is the same.
I hope so. It's Die Hard.
Yes, it is.
Yes. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, come on, just for the Yippee-ki-yay alone.
I know.
But so many other great ones that
Yes.
I use in everyday life usually. So
Yeah, well, we won't go into them here. We'll save them for next week.
yes. So Die Hard for sure.
Hopefully everybody will agree with us that Die Hard is the number 1.
Yeah, come on, people. So Die
Hey, no
Hard.
coaching. No coaching. This is America.
That's true. Yeah. I think for the last 2
Or it used to be.
well, yeah, that's a whole other thing. But Casablanca beat Casino, which I was upset about, and then Back to the Future, I didn't think would win either. So who knows?
Yeah, but doing Casablanca today, you see all the great lines in Casablanca.
Oh, for sure, the undeniable. We'll have to go through the alphabet probably multiple times to get to all the good ones. But yeah, so we got Die Hard, Dead Poet Society. So Dumb and Dumber makes it because it was my 2, and then it's between. Well, no, I guess Dr. Strangelove will make it because that was your 3. That's a good list. So, all right, everybody, here are your options. The most quotable movies that start with D are Die Hard, Dead Poet Society, Dumb and Dumber, and Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying. And what's the whole thing? Something
Love the Bomb.
Love the Bomb. I think that's it.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's a classic. I would imagine Peter Sellers has all the best quotes on that one.
Well, not really. There's the one where the pilot is sitting on top of the bomb.
Oh yes, of course. But that's more of a visual thing, isn't it? Or I forget what he says, but something about yeehaw or something.
If it comes on, yeah.
All right.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Ah, there you go. We got 2 Yippee-ki-yay movies. Oh, classic. All right, guys. Well, you know what to do. Vote for the one that you think is going to win, either in the comments below or on my other channel, Johnny Radio. You can do it on the poll there. And yeah, so hopefully we'll be talking about one of our favorite movies next week. And we will see you then. Love you.
Love you too.
All right. Bye.
All right.